Right now, a cold front is slamming into Tasmania, and behind it, a wall of polar air is racing towards Melbourne. But here is what nobody is talking about. By Saturday, parts of Queensland could see 150 millimetres of rain in just 24 hours. That is not a typo. 150 millimetres. And if you live in New South Wales, what is heading your way by Sunday might catch you completely off guard. Stay with me for the next few minutes because I'm going to break down exactly when this hits your city, hour by hour, state by state. And at the 3-minute mark, I am going to reveal which part of Australia faces the most dangerous weather window of the entire week. You do not want to miss that. So let us start with what is happening right now because this is moving fast. The satellite imagery today tells a dramatic story. There is a massive band of speckled clouds stretching across the Southern Ocean and the Great Australian Bight. That speckled pattern is the fingerprint of a classic cold front, and it is already pushing into Tasmania as we speak. Thunderstorms, rain, most of it hammering the western side of the ranges. And behind that front, a surge of genuinely cold air is loading up like a freight train, ready to roll along the entire southern coastline tonight. But here is the first twist. This cold front is not the main event. It is just the opening act. Let me take you through the timing because timing is everything this week. Tasmania, your cold front arrives today, Wednesday. Expect thunderstorms and rain through the afternoon and into the evening, concentrated on the western ranges. By tonight, the cold air floods in properly. When you wake up Thursday morning, the front is clearing away. Short-lived. By lunchtime Thursday, it is gone, replaced by southwesterly winds and plenty of showers on the west coast, but mostly dry elsewhere. So for Hobart, the rough window is Wednesday afternoon through to Thursday morning. That is your storm window. After that, high pressure starts building and you dry out nicely heading into the weekend. Melbourne, pay attention. That same cold change is knocking on your door by Wednesday evening, around 7 o'clock Eastern time. You will start feeling it. Showers moving in, possibly a few thunderstorms around the southern and coastal parts of Victoria. It will not be a major event for you, but it will be noticeable. The rain and cloud clear away during Thursday morning, shifting eastward. And then here is the good news for Victoria. High pressure dominates your weekend. Saturday, dry. Sunday, dry. Enjoy it while it lasts because I will tell you what is coming after that in just a moment. Now, here is something most people do not realise about cold fronts like this one. The temperature drop behind the front is significant. We are talking about a swing of 8 to 12 degrees in some areas. If you are out in the evening in Melbourne or Geelong without a jacket, you will feel it. That southerly wind has come all the way from the Southern Ocean and it carries that bite with it. So even though the rain clears quickly, the cooler air sticks around through Thursday and into Friday morning. For Adelaide, this particular front clips your eastern fringe but does not hit you directly. You stay warm through Wednesday and Thursday. In fact, Adelaide is sitting in a bit of a sweet spot this midweek, sandwiched between the cold front to the east and the remnants of the tropical system to the west. Enjoy it because your turn is coming next week, and I will get to that shortly. Now, before that cold front even arrives, there is serious heat building ahead of it. New South Wales, the Australian Capital Territory, and all of Queensland are feeling that heat push through today. If you are in Sydney, expect warm to hot conditions ahead of the change. The cooler southerly shift will reach you by Thursday, but it is a gradual thing, not a dramatic slam like Melbourne gets. And speaking of that heat, here is where things get really interesting. Do not skip ahead because this next part matters. Remember I mentioned Western Australia? There is a whole separate weather story happening over there. The leftovers of what was Tropical Cyclone Mitchell are dumping rain across southern parts of Western Australia right now. Mitchell is basically falling apart as an ex-cyclone, but it is still squeezing out moisture. And some of that is spilling over into South Australia as thunderstorms and clouds. So if you are in Perth or anywhere in the southern half of Western Australia, that wet weather is the remnants of a tropical system, not the cold front. Two completely different weather makers colliding in the same part of the country at the same time. Now let us talk about the real story of this week, and this is what I promised you at the 3-minute mark. Queensland, this is your section. Listen carefully. By Friday, a dangerous convergence zone sets up over the southeast corner of Queensland. Here is how it works. You have got low pressure sitting in the Coral Sea. You have got more low pressure inland over central Queensland. And then high pressure is ballooning out near Sydney and up towards Lord Howe Island in the Tasman Sea. Between that high and those lows, the atmosphere gets squeezed. The winds accelerate. Northerlies come rushing down the Great Dividing Range. Easterlies push in from the coast. And where all that air collides, you get explosive thunderstorm development. Friday's rainfall totals could hit 80 millimetres in 24 hours across southeast and central Queensland. But wait. That is Friday. Saturday is worse. On Saturday, those totals jump to 150 millimetres in 24 hours for parts of Queensland. To put that in perspective, that is roughly a month's worth of rain falling in a single day for some of these areas. That is a serious amount of water. We are talking potential flash flooding, roads cut, creeks rising fast. If you are anywhere in inland or southeast Queensland, you need to have a plan for Saturday. Know your flood maps, know your evacuation routes, check on your neighbours, especially anyone living near creek lines or low-lying areas. And here is the twist that changes everything for New South Wales. Those severe thunderstorms that build over inland Queensland on Saturday, they do not just stay in Queensland. By Sunday, they drop south. They push down into northern New South Wales. The models are clear on this. Both the European and the American forecast models agree. And when those two agree, you pay attention. Sunday's setup looks like this. High pressure anchored near Tasmania. Low pressure still hovering over the Coral Sea. Between the two, easterly winds feed in off the ocean, turning northeasterly as they push down into southern New South Wales, the Australian Capital Territory, and into Victoria. The populated areas in the south stay mostly dry, but northern New South Wales and southern Queensland are right in the firing line for heavy rain, severe thunderstorms, and potentially dangerous conditions. Now, here is the question you should be asking yourself. If you live anywhere between Coffs Harbour and Bundaberg, do you have a plan for this weekend? Because that corridor is looking like the bullseye for the heaviest rain and the most intense thunderstorm activity from Friday right through to Sunday. If you have not checked your gutters, your downpipes and your drainage in a while, now is the time. Wednesday and Thursday are your preparation days before the wet weather arrives. Use them wisely because once Friday hits, you want to be ready, not scrambling. For Brisbane, your wet weather window opens Friday and does not close until Sunday evening. 3 solid days of thunderstorm risk. The peak danger is Saturday. If you have outdoor plans for the weekend, Saturday is the day to reschedule. Friday starts with scattered activity building through the afternoon. By Saturday morning, the convergence zone is firing on all cylinders, and that is when the heaviest falls are most likely. Sunday sees things easing gradually, but do not let your guard down because isolated heavy cells can still pop up through the afternoon. For the Gold Coast and Sunshine Coast, same story. Friday through Sunday, with Saturday being the worst of it. The combination of onshore easterlies and that convergence zone means coastal areas could see intense short bursts of rain on top of the broader thunderstorm activity. If you are near any waterways or beach areas, keep an eye on conditions and check the Bureau of Meteorology warnings regularly. For Townsville and Cairns, your situation is different. You are in the tropical belt and this is February, so thunderstorms and showers are your normal routine. But the models are showing some enhanced activity even for you, so do not get complacent. Now, let me take you into next week because there is another change coming and most people are not even aware of it yet. Monday brings a cooler southerly breeze to the southwest corner of Western Australia. If you are near Margaret River or anywhere south of Bunbury, that southerly will feel noticeably cooler compared to the heat you have been dealing with. The polar boundary drops right to your doorstep. Meanwhile, the heat that was sitting over Western Australia pushes east into South Australia. North to northeasterly winds for Adelaide and surrounds. So Monday and Tuesday could be quite warm for South Australia. Adelaide, here is your specific forecast. Tuesday is your big day. Hot northerlies push down from the interior straight into the city. But on the western side of coastal South Australia, The next southerly change is already approaching, riding ahead of a new high pressure zone. So Tuesday could start hot with temperatures climbing through the morning, and then that cooler change arrives later in the day from the west. Classic Adelaide summer pattern, but worth being ready for. For Melbourne on Monday and Tuesday, north to northeasterly, breezes mean it stays warm. No significant rain expected. The red boundary on the weather maps might be some distance away from you, but those northerly winds blowing down from the interior can still push temperatures up noticeably. For Canberra, Monday brings a chance of showers with those northeasterly winds. Nothing severe, but keep the umbrella handy. For Sydney, the coast picks up a few showers early next week, but the further north you go in New South Wales, the wetter it gets. That pattern has been consistent all week. Now, here is one more piece of good news before I wrap up the forecast detail. That tropical low that has been feeding moisture into Queensland. By Tuesday, the models show it tracking more towards New Caledonia. That means drier skies finally return to southern parts of Queensland by mid next week. The far north stays active with the usual tropical thunderstorms, but for places like Brisbane, Rockhampton and Mackay, relief is on the way. Let me give you the rainfall numbers one more time because these are important. The European model shows over 200 millimetres for parts of Queensland over the next 7 days. The northeast corner of New South Wales could see up to 100 millimetres or more. The top end of the Northern Territory and the Kimberley also picking up significant totals. And the American model backs this up almost exactly. When both major global forecast models paint the same picture, confidence is high. So here is your action plan, state by state. Tasmania, your weather clears Thursday. Enjoy a dry weekend. Victoria, the change moves through Wednesday night. Dry and pleasant from Friday through the weekend. Warm again early next week. South Australia, mostly dry until Tuesday when the heat arrives, followed by a late change. Western Australia, ex-tropical cyclone Mitchell fades away. Southwest corner gets a cooler change Monday. New South Wales, watch the northern half from Friday onwards. Southern areas stay mostly dry. Queensland, this is your week to stay alert. Friday through Sunday is the critical window. Saturday is the peak. 150 millimetres possible in 24 hours. Both global models agree. Northern Territory and Kimberley, business as usual with tropical thunderstorms and showers. Stay weather aware. But do not underestimate the tropics in February. Even routine thunderstorms this time of year can produce damaging wind gusts, large hail and localised flash flooding. If you are travelling through remote areas, make sure you check road conditions before heading out because a single thunderstorm can turn a dry creek crossing into an impassable torrent in minutes. One final thought before I go. This week is a reminder of just how vast and varied Australia-S weather can be. Right now, Tasmania is getting a polar blast, Queensland is bracing for tropical downpours, Western Australia is dealing with the remnants of a cyclone, and Adelaide is sitting in sunshine wondering what all the fuss is about. That is 4 completely different weather stories playing out across one continent at the same time. Now, I need your help with something. Drop a comment below and tell me where you are watching from. Your city, your town, your region. I read every single comment, and the more specific you are about your location, the more targeted I can make tomorrow's forecast for you. If enough of you from the same area comment, I will do a dedicated deep dive into your local conditions. So do not be shy. Let me know where you are. Are you in that Queensland danger zone? Are you on the coast? Are you inland? Tell me, because your local geography makes a huge difference to how this weather plays out for you specifically. And if you found this forecast useful, share it with someone who needs it. Your family, your neighbours, anyone who might be caught off guard by what is coming this weekend. Weather awareness saves lives, and sometimes a simple share is all it takes. And do not miss tomorrow's update, because here is what is coming. There is a new system forming in the Indian Ocean that the models are just starting to pick up. It is too early to say exactly what it will do, but if it tracks the way the early data suggests, Western Australia could be looking at another significant weather event by the end of next week. I will have the first detailed breakdown of that system tomorrow, including potential timing, potential rainfall, and which cities need to start paying attention. That is tomorrow's video. Make sure sure you are subscribed and have notifications turned on so you do not miss it. This is shaping up to be one of the most active weather weeks we have seen in a while across Australia. And tomorrow's update could change the picture again. Stay safe out there, Australia. Know your risks, have your plan, check on your neighbours, and I will see you tomorrow.